Greetings.
Oh.
Hello.
Greetings, friends.
Welcome to a non-holiday Friendship Friday.
First one in 2 weeks.
First one in 2
Yeah, a
weeks.
long time,
What
huh?
episode is this? 6, 7?
7? I think it's 7.
7.
You'll know once you upload it.
Yeah. And today
Hopefully.
we're talking about the creative process. Sorry, I just
Process.
keep saying English words. Sorry,
Process.
I have a really bad English accent. I'm gonna leave now.
And that's it for today's episode.
We wanted to talk about our how we create, what it takes for us to create something. We all have different kind of medias that we like to do.
Yeah. Let's go off. What do you do, Jen?
I like writing, but I dabble in sketching, but it's mostly writing and story creating.
I'm a screenwriting major, but I also do a lot of stand-up. I do a lot of
Very funny.
small video productions.
Photography.
Photography.
Photography is a big one. So those are what I usually do.
I feel like I'm always the last one to go. I draw and paint. I like a
He's
lot
very
of...
talented.
No.
He kind of
You-
really is. I look
You
over
should put
his,
up
yeah.
some of his
Yeah,
work.
Play some of his work without
He has
his,
a
No,
talent.
because
That
then
is
you'll have
copyright.
to...
without his permission.
Wait. Anyways.
So what do you do, Evan? I'm sorry.
I don't know. Just, drawing, painting, a little bit of animation. But so not... Yeah, actually we have all sorts of mediums.
Yeah.
Writing, drawing,
Visual.
film, writing, photography, everything.
Also, Evan's a really good actor.
Yes.
Like, he doesn't know it, but he really is.
Here's a clip. No, she can't.
Here's a clip.
No.
Wait, it's my film. I can distribute
Yeah.
it.
Oh, I thought we were gonna do like the really short ones that Carl did where I didn't say anything.
Oh.
No. We want you to. We want you to slam that wall.
Mhm.
He was really good.
We want you to drop the F-bomb that he never does.
I know.
We spent like a good 15 minutes
Doing that, yeah.
doing that scene.
It was hard to pump him up, but we got him there.
So what inspires you? Like, how do you go about, like, creating, content for your mediums per se?
I mean, it's interesting because obviously anything animated for me is always really cool to watch. Like you see some films like Miyazaki and then like you immediately want to start like painting or drawing. But these days, like with the internet, just even with like people's Tumblrs or I know back in the day it was like DeviantArt. It's interesting
Still
because
around.
yeah, it's still around. But there's always like really cool art that shows up. To the point where like whenever you can just like see really cool art all the time, and that's interesting because part of the time it gets me really excited, but then like sometimes I just have to like not go on social media for a while because after a certain point there's like so many people you look at that either A, you can't start developing your own style because there's so many things you want to copy, or just like it gets discouraging sometimes seeing all this cool art. So it's a little bit of both, just like looking at your own life and then also looking at other people's works, like what they're reflecting in their work. So
Yeah.
social media can be dangerous
It can be.
It can be dangerous.
demoralizing. So there we go. That's a good
No,
both of
yeah,
them.
I totally understand. Like, social media, like, we are, us and, like, the newer generation are the ones that grew up with social media. And before then, like, people didn't actively get as discouraged as they are now. Because, like, there are similar people, because we compare ourselves with other people who are like us. And when they are doing better than us, we can't help but feel like, oh, why am I not in that position? And it's, I mean, I personally go through that all the time, but at the same time, like, you want to create the identity that is exactly you. Like, be your own self, and it doesn't matter what other people are doing. Just focus on yourself. For my creative process as a writer, as a stand-up comedian, as like someone who wants to go into film, for me, inspiration draws from like experiences that I've been through. Experiences that I went through really helped me establish like what I want to write. I have two younger brothers, and more often than not, like brotherhood is a strong theme in my writing because like I've had so many experiences with like the ups and lows of like being with my brothers.
Experiences are a good one. The biggest inspiration for me is more like things that don't exist. I don't know how to put it. Like just like the vast human imagination of being able to create like these things that don't actually happen. I really like sci-fi and like fantasy and stuff, and I don't know, I get super inspired like, oh, in this world I'm unlimited. I can do anything. I can make up stuff and it works. Like that's inspiring for me because I'm like free to make up whatever, like create problems and like that like struggle and just that relief of like getting to that resolution, and it's just like, oh yeah, that was an awesome journey, let's do another one. It's like the same reason people read. It's like the same reason I write, like that, just to write the way I feel about things. And I also have strong themes from experiences. I have a lot of like familial themes, relationships, like friendship and stuff, because those are the things I relate to the most, and I think they're not often emphasized enough in media. I personally don't write. I don't like writing with an outline. I use it occasionally to help myself, but I'm actually really bad with outlines because it's like the most bland outline ever.
Yeah.
But then when I just like start writing, I'll come up with like these crazy things. It's way more exciting than outlines.
Yeah.
So
You write from the soul.
I have to. I can't.
The heart.
Outlines are like cages. I can't do outlines, but some people really thrive with outlines.
I write with outlines.
Yeah.
So, thus, I'm soulless. What's the most weirdest or craziest thing you did to inspire yourself?
My teacher last semester, he was like, he likes to get us to try to pitch story ideas based off of random things, like news articles and stuff. And this time he did it off of like a GIF, and it was just like this tree in the snow that was like quivering, and it was like windy and snowy, and it was just this giant tree, and he's like, now pitch me something. And I was like, but I discovered my flow like immediately. I was like, oh, this reminds me of this and this and this.
Yeah.
So that was really helpful, and a weird way to come up with an inspiration, like a random tree, but it was great. Small things in nature actually really help.
Going for like walks.
Going for walks, yeah.
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 That's actually, mine was a class assignment too. I just think of like the most recent one I could think of. Our teacher, we had to pitch a show, and so in order to get us like thinking about ideas, he, like a lot of times people will write characters like based on other characters or things like that.
Oh, yeah.
But he's always like, you want to find inspiration for your character from like these life experiences, like we said earlier. So his challenge was to go out on a serendipitous adventure over the weekend. And I went with two friends, and we ended up at an Irish pub. Because we had one of those yes or no apps on your phone. So we were driving along.
Oh, that's so weird.
Yeah,
Was it like
it was called
a hole in a wall?
No, it was called like the bar.
Yeah.
No, it's actually really nice. Well, it was okay. So we were driving
his
along,
answer.
and we, like whenever it would say yes or no, it was like, should we go right? And it's like no. And I think it was alive because it like led us straight to downtown LA. And then we had to ask a person where the nearest Irish pub was. If we can get the pint of Guinness.
That's cool.
So that's what we did.
That's
I don't
a cool
really
way
know
for
if a story
inspiration.
came out of it, but
That's a cool way for
it was
inspiration,
fun.
though.
Yeah, so go random places.
Yeah, going random places.
Just be safe.
Yeah. Safety is priority.
Probably don't go anywhere
Yeah.
dark if the conch says so.
Oh, other people's stories really inspire me too. I heard this really moving story once. This woman had like lost her child after a few months, and like had this dream that that her child was like, he couldn't at the end of the child's life, it was an infant and it couldn't really walk or move or anything. It had so many tubes connected to it. But in this dream, this baby like sat up and looked at her, and then like walked along this long bridge, and each step of the way he got older and older until he got to the end, and then he turned around and he was like, I'm okay, Mom. And then I don't know, it's just like super moving.
Oh, that's
Yeah. Yeah, that really inspired me. I really wanted to write something based off of that.
I think for me, getting out of my comfort zone inspires me. Road trips, like me and Evan and Skylar like went in the middle of the night to like, what was it?
SD? San Diego.
That's
before
where we
San
ended
Diego.
up.
That's where you.
Joshua Tree National
Joshua
Park.
Tree National
Joshua
Park.
Tree's really
Joshua
pretty.
Tree National Park. In the middle of the night, we go there and like there's no like light pollution.
The stars are beautiful.
So we saw hundreds and thousands of stars, and it was really beautiful.
We just
And
like sat down in the middle of the road somewhere at
Yeah.
one point.
That's awesome.
Yeah. There was no one around.
that was breathtaking. We went to like Salvation Mountain, and that was really weird. But at the same time, like I always wanted to go there because I saw pictures, and we finally went there. So like things like that, just getting out of my comfort zone.
What are your biggest struggles when you're creating something?
Ha.
Like, what do you struggle with?
Again, like I said earlier, is comparing with people. That's always. I mean, it's to the point where like you want to get inspired and like fired up by what people are doing, but you don't want to like overanalyze.
It stops you from drawing.
Yeah, and like on the same vein, there comes a point in every project where you just like step back and look at it and you're like, this absolutely sucks. And like a lot of times it is true, especially with like sometimes you're just painting something and like you start laying down colors or just like drawing something, and at a certain point it just looks like chicken scratch. And like the only way to get past that, and it took me a really long time to figure that out, but the only way to get past that and like create something good is to just keep going and like have faith that it'll eventually like start looking like something. But there's a point in every project where just it doesn't look like anything.
Yeah.
And there's like
even in writing.
yeah, and there's like you do want to like draw a line, like sometimes like maybe this isn't the right approach or something like that, but oftentimes you just have to keep going.
Push through.
And it took me a really long time to figure that out, because I would often just give up at that point and like switch to something else, which helps like going somewhere and then coming back. Oh, shut up. No, but there's like,
I see what you're saying.
there's like a tipping point, or not tipping point. But
It's nice to take breaks.
yeah.
Like
So.
if you're too close to a project, it blinds you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't get from point A to point B. You get from point A to point Z.
Oh.
That sounded a lot more inspiring.
Right.
than I thought. Sorry.
The alphabet doesn't
No,
end
it's
at
alright.
B.
I really struggle with villains. And sometimes world building. Like I'm just like generic room. But I know what happens. I just don't really care about my settings so
Yeah.
much. I just have to stick them somewhere.
That's always like.
I'm
little
really
things,
bad
though.
with that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the little things. The devil's in the details. No.
Yeah, no.
Oh, I've never heard that.
Really? No.
You must be
I've-
a writer.
No, yeah, I really struggle with villains too. I can't come up with good motivations for them, and just their character kind of falls flat every time. I have to rewrite my thesis villain like 3 times, and Evan had to help.
You should
villains!
you should create a crime or do a crime. So
Yeah,
that you
do
have
a crime!
world experience.
Be a villain for a day.
I can't
Kick a kid
kick a kid.
Kick a baby!
No!
for reference.
Or for the art. I need to kick a
Do
baby
it for
the
art.
Oh god.
Writer's block.
Writer's block.
That's definitely a thing for creative things. But then like
It really is.
creating content that's funny.
Ooh, comedic content.
Yeah.
It's hard to purposely be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Spider-Man inspires me so much. How do you come up with that many jokes in a single setting? Like, what?
Yeah.
You're flipping and you're thinking of jokes at the same time? I have to sit for hours to come up with one. Screw you, Peter. So every joke in a movie has been spent like hours on.
Lots of thinking.
Lots of thinking has gone behind that one
Yeah.
line to
Yeah.
deliver that punch.
And you may have something really funny, and it just won't work for the situation.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it falls flat and you're like, damn, I have to get rid of it. Think
It's
of
when
something
you
else.
create your joke book and you just write them all down. Do they tell you just to create a situation that's like could end up
you
funny,
try
or
to
do
make
you-
it organic. Like
Yeah.
while you're in the situation, you think you use the colors on your palette, just
Okay.
like whatever you can make to
I
be
see.
interesting. But funny is really hard. I think the main thing that I think for the creative process, like what one method works for one person won't work for another. It's always important to like try different ways to see what works for you when you're trying to create something. Because I mean, we've all come up with different ways that works for us.
Yeah.
But like already not all of them match up. Like I don't use outlines, but he does.
Yeah.
And like it just, you kind of have to find your own inspiration wherever you find it. You know?
It's good advice.
Yeah. Being creative is difficult and oftentimes frustrating, but it's so rewarding after.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's not a banging your head against the wall.
Yeah.
That's my advice. My advice is to never stop trying.
Yes.
Like,
That's a good
Like
one.
like the chicken scratch thing. You gotta
Yeah.
go past the chicken scratch.
just if you're a
and it
writer,
will look like that for a long time.
yeah.
Just
If you're
FYI.
an artist, keep drawing. If you're a writer, keep writing.
Just vomit it.
Mhm.
What just blah, 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 and then you'll probably find something that you needed.
Yeah.
Even if it's not like direct story, you could like write about your character, just like give him a biography. That helps too. That helped me.
yeah, and you always gotta realize that something might not always work. It could fail. Like one of the lessons I learned actually when learning animation is I still haven't really done a proper walk cycle. But what's interesting is when you think about the human walking, it's actually you're pushing yourself. Each step is you're putting yourself in a position where you could fall. And so the only way to move forward really is to like keep putting yourself in a position where you could potentially fall. And actually that is what you do is every time you step you fall a little bit. So it's
That was
kind of
really
a metaphor for what you kind of
That
gotta
was
do.
really deep.
Was it really?
Yeah,
Cool.
that was
Are
really
we
deep.
are we keeping that?
We're keeping that one. That was really
Hey,
deep.
that was
Yeah,
really-
but like
I
if
like
you
that.
if you don't move, like you know, you kind of gotta fall
Being
first.
being stagnant, like even like really clean water, if it doesn't flow, it becomes really dirty. So you gotta keep moving.
I think that's the main thing.
Yeah. Keep working.
You made me feel warm inside.
Friendship. Friendship. My mom always used to say, if you're not learning something, it's time to move on. So it's kind of just always looking for things to change. Like you never
Improve.
want to think that there's nothing you can do better, because there's probably always something you can change.
That's another great advice.
It made me feel warm.
Again.
Yeah.
You're really hitting
I'm on a
the
roll.
nail on the head.
Be my life coach.
Coach, you can put them on the quotes wall along with pasta. It's my favorite quote. It's pasta.
Pasta.
Yeah. We have an inspirational quote wall,
One of them is pasta.
and Evan's first inspirational quote says pasta.
To be fair,
Oh,
I was
I'm
like
hungry.
looking through the fridge at the time, and he's like, "Give me like an inspirational quote," and I was like, "Well, I have pasta to eat, so that was all I had to eat." So it's
Oh,
just
but
pasta.
like another thing, like sometimes you could fail, but sometimes you could really win, but it wasn't what you were planning.
Yeah.
That's another thing. That's another thing I learned too. While creating, it's not like even if it didn't come out the way you planned, doesn't mean it's a failure. It could be a really good thing.
Just
Or
gotta
it's
find
a
the
good thing.
lessons and everything.
Yeah. Back to what you said.
Happy little accidents.
Oh,
Like Bob Ross.
Bob.
Yeah.
Watch
Like
Bob Ross if you don't do anything else.
He is my life coach.
I wish I could talk like Bob Ross.
Ooh.
It'd be
well,
so interesting.
Continuing with your goal for 2016 here, are we?
To sound like Bob Ross. No one sounds like Bob Ross. Maybe if I grew hair like him.
You're.
That means you shouldn't cut your hair. So if you're gonna grow hair like him, you better not cut it.
What if this vlog is just secretly a vlog about how long my hair gets? So every week it's just gonna get longer.
Yeah.
Or it's just your gradual improvement of being able to talk.
I see the improvement.
I see the improvement.
It's good.
Well, being creative has its ups and downs, and you may stumble and trip a little, but it's always rewarding, and if you really push through, you can make something magnificent.
You always have nice words for them. Like big words.
I am an
Sing them.
educated student, ex-student,
You graduated.
graduated. Thanks, guys. Tell us your creative stories down in the comment section below, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Never stop believing in yourself.
Don't
can do
stop
it.
believing.
Carl has to pee, but he left the camera rolling.
Feeling. Can we cut this?